Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discuss Dr. No's epic vent line, CSI profiling, respectfully disagreeing. We also touch on Bond girls, the moon landing, elite players, Telly Savalas, the Whirl bet, and the secret society of sharpshooters. Can you hear me?
Barely. You're kind of low.
Fuck, man. What the hell?
You used to sound so pro.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I don't know what's wrong. How's this, man? Can you hear me now?
I hear you. It's just you're not your normal sensual voice. You're having a hard time. You don't have a comeback for that, do you?
All right. So do you want to talk about all the voicemails that we're getting?
We're getting a lot. We're getting too many to go over all of them, but there's one that scared the shit out of me.
Should we play the all right, you want to start with the good or the bad? Let's start with the bad one, all right?
Yeah, I think I know which one that is. Which one is it?
It's the one that came in from Dr. No.
Okay, play it.
I thought that Dr. No was spelled like N-O when he said Dr. No.
Me
You
too.
did?
I'll tell you the story in a minute. Yeah, go ahead.
Fuck it. I'll play it, all right? And then
All
I'll
right,
play
play it.
Okay, I'm going to play it right now.
Well, hi there, Ed Two-Ton. I just listened to my very first podcast where you guys were ripping on the math guys and ripping on the hedgers. Well, this is Dr. No here in Florida, and I wanted to welcome you guys to the 22nd century. That's right. Craps is no longer the 2-point Molly of old. Craps today is a hybrid system where you place your bets, you move your bets, where you don't drink at the table like you old dudes do and think, hey, I'm the best shooter in the world, and I'll throw 30 rolls every time. And then you point 7 out. Come on, dude. Math rules. The only way to overcome the math is if you are a DI, period. End of discussion. Other than that, it's all about money management. Now, on a separate note, I know that you guys are going to be going to Biloxi, and I saw Gargoyle have a great freaking roll. His toss is in. He's dialed in. Ed, you got a way to go. I know, but your craps game, from what I've been seeing lately, is kind of like broken clocks craps. Twice during the day, you are spot on. But a lot of the other times, you're missing it here or there. And I think if you would just concentrate more, all that anger, all that madness at people pitching systems, put that into your rolling. I think it'll be better for you, okay? It's a new world. It's a new way to play. Old things pass. And I'll tell you one thing. As a hybrid don't better, I love the odds, okay? And frankly, I'll probably see you guys in Biloxi if I'm not on a cruise ship, because I've got 3 of them coming up. And the casino's paid for all of them, by the way. It's a nice feeling when you can walk on the boat with $3,000 in casino money, and you walk off the boat with $5,000 in casino money. It's a truly wonderful thing. I would love for you to come on a cruise with me. I'd be able to show you a few things. Heck, I could probably even get you a comp room if you knew how to bet properly. But I know, you like to stay on dry land. Bourbon and the high seas don't mix too well, do they? Hey, I loved your podcast, though. It was very entertaining. And for entertainment value, I give you guys an 8. But as far as practical, day in, day out advice to those of us that supplement our incomes by playing craps, I disagree, respectfully now. All the other stuff was just for fun. Hedging does have a place in craps. On the podcast, 10 Ton, he hedged a 9. That was the smart thing to do. That was not a gambler move. That was an AP move, okay? And so I understand sometimes it's easier to be negative on people, but you know what? Slow and steady wins the race. And yeah, those 40 rolls, they're wonderful. I love it when I have them too. That's where you're going to make all your money. Absolutely. But you got to look at craps in a different light. There's a long game, but then there's a short game. You got to have a strategy for both. The most important thing about craps, in my mind, is money management. I can make money off a random shooter, but not much. As a dice influencer, that's where the bucks are. And I'll tell you where you really make bank is when you get a controlled shooter or a precision shooter, something you and I disagree on, but they're out there and they exist. I'm not one. You are not one. Gargoyle is not one. But there are precision shooters out there. That's a whole different topic, and I'd love to prove you wrong on that one as well. Hey, you take care. Keep up the good work.
Okay, Ed.
Okay.
So as go ahead.
That took me all the way back to my childhood.
Okay, what do you mean?
As soon as he said, "Hello, this is Dr. No," I immediately went back to my childhood and James Bond.
James Bond.
Yeah, because I thought I was wrong, but I thought N.O., Dr. N.O. That was the James Bond movie, right?
Ed, that's funny, man, because I thought the exact same thing. I had no idea that you actually spelled it K-N-O-W. I assumed it would be N-O.
Yeah, I did too. That was my immediate response was Dr. No. All right, so let's talk about Dr. No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
The floor is yours.
Tell me who the lead actress was as the love interest for 007 in Dr. No.
And Dr. No? Shit, man. Dr. No. First of all, what era James Bond was at? Was that Sean Connery
It was like
or Roger Moore?
It was
Sean Connery.
It was Sean Connery in numero uno.
Oh, man. The lead interest. Was it
You don't know.
No, but I'm going to say it wasn't like Catherine Bach. It was
she wasn't even born then.
Was she? Or was it Raquel Welch? No. Was it the Italian lady? No.
No.
Cool.
Ursula
Ursula Andress, man.
Yes.
So, oh man,
Ursula Andress is
that's a lot of woman, man.
Oh my God.
Have you ever met an Ursula? That's the only Ursula
I've met an Andress. Ursula was coming out from the water, and she was singing this little song, and she was out collecting conch shells.
Yeah, you can listen to the ocean.
She was listening. She was collecting them to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you now, what was Ursula Andress's name in the Bond film?
Man, I don't know.
You ain't got a wild guess, do you?
Was it? It wasn't Pussy Galore, was it?
No, that was from another one.
Fuck,
that's my favorite all-time girl name.
What a name. Jeez. Really? Like, who came up with that name? What that won't cause some problems.
Well, I mean, there was Octopussy as well.
Oh yeah.
That's Maude Adams.
I don't know. What was her name?
Honey Rider.
Honey Rider?
Yeah.
What a handle. That would make a great craps handle, dude. Oh my God. Honey Rider. What a great craps handle. Someone needs to get that handle, dude.
Gotta be a female.
Yeah. And we still haven't had a female call into the fucking vent line. One day.
We haven't.
One day it'll happen.
So what do you think? I mean,
all right. So Dr. No.
Yeah. I mean, I literally went cringing because you got to remember that Dr. No, he had lost his right hand because of his problems with dealing with radiation, right? So he had this fake right hand, and he worked for who?
Dude, that would be tough to throw dice. Maybe
you got to be a lefty.
Yeah, he's got to be a lefty. He's got to be shooting from where? He's got to be shooting from
anywhere he wants to because he's radioactive. But
that's true. Dr. No has control of the table.
He has a table by himself.
But Ursula, man, what a
Ursula.
name. Man, she
had that. There was a famous bikini scene. I mean, she had that little bikini.
Yeah, I'm
really
remembering it. I'm remembering it, man. She's getting out of the water.
Got that knife in her belt.
She is a 10, or she was a 10.
Yeah, her and several other of who she was married to.
What? All the questions that I am not going to be able to answer. I don't know.
I can answer these questions.
Tell me. Oh,
John Derek.
John Derek. But wasn't John Derek Bo Derek? This is before.
Yep.
But was it pre-Bo Derek?
Yep.
Wow.
You know who else he was married to?
John Derek. What a stud, dude. Wow, he pulled the fucking babes, man. So he had Ursula, then he had Bo Derek, then who?
You're missing one.
Oh, there was someone in between there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I totally lost it. I can't think now.
Oh, dude, come on, Ed. How does it go through your head that quick?
Because I'm old.
Yeah, but not that old. Come on, man.
She played in a Western TV series.
Stephanie Seymour?
No.
It wasn't a Western TV series.
Yeah.
They all
look alike. They all look virtually alike.
Who? Cheryl Tiegs?
No.
Who?
Do you remember Big Valley?
Nope, I don't.
The TV show Big Valley?
That's before my time, maybe. Were they wearing like big 10-gallon hats, 10-gallon like big hats?
Nah, that's
Bonanza. All right, no, I don't know. Big Valley, dude.
You need to Google it.
Maybe, yeah, I'm sure I will. I won't ever probably. Or Yellowstone.
Linda Evans.
Oh my God, Linda Evans was a hottie, man. Back on Dallas.
He was married to all
Dallas,
3 of
right?
those girls.
She was on Dallas, right?
No, she wasn't on Dallas.
Well, that
she
other
was
one.
On,
What's that other one?
I don't know.
Come on, Ed.
Did
that one have Patrick Duffy on it?
No, that was Dallas.
Oh man, J.R. Ewing.
That was Dallas.
Well, what the hell's the one with Linda Evans on? With Morgan Fairchild on it?
Yes, I think so.
Morgan Fairchild.
Morgan was peculiarly hot.
What do you mean peculiarly?
I can't even say that word.
Morgan Fairchild was just hot.
Yeah, but she had that nose.
I don't know. I just remember Morgan Fairchild was, a beautiful.
But Linda
Evans, man, what's that show, dude? It's like Dallas.
You got to Google it.
How do you not know this? So you should be the one knowing.
You should know it.
It's more like your generation.
I didn't watch the show.
All right, I'm gonna just find this out right now, and then you're gonna. It's something like Dallas. All right, Linda Evans. Oh, dude, Dynasty.
How the
fuck do you not remember that, Ed?
How did you not remember that?
Because I have an excuse. I'm a little younger, so that's the excuse that I'm.
You're
going
my
with.
sister's age,
and it makes sense. It doesn't matter though because you're still older, and you should know that. I'm going to send you some Ginkgo biloba, dude, from Amazon's to get your memory back up.
I did not watch that show. I didn't watch that show.
All right. Well, what's the moral of the story is that John Derek, that's what his name was?
Yeah.
Man, what a roster. Huh? What a roster
really,
he
absolutely.
had.
His last wife was Bo.
And they were all film
identical
stars. Yep.
Identical.
Wow.
They were all identical.
What'd he do?
He was a film director.
No, I guess that's how you get the ladies.
Yeah, they used to have that casting couch thing.
They get the ladies, man. But he got divorced. I wonder
Did we
why.
have a phone call we were talking about?
Yeah. Dude, Dr. No. All right, Dr. No.
Yeah, so it really flipped me out that it wasn't N-O, that it was K-N-O-W.
That's funny, man, that you and I both thought the same thing. That it was N-O. And I thought it was N-O a little because it was kind of negative. More so, maybe. But it might not be. All right, go ahead.
I took the recording from his audio.
Yes.
To my 10-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I said, I want you to listen to this. And she listened to it. And I mean, it's like 4 freaking minutes long. So,
Hey, but I like that. I like that. That's duration. Good job.
And so my granddaughter.
Yeah. So you brought this into your granddaughter. You just
It's the only one I got.
Yeah.
I only got one granddaughter.
Let's process this.
Yeah.
This message before you bring it over to 10 tons.
She is social media expert.
Okay.
That's
good.
And so I looked at her and she started smiling. And I said, what are you smiling about? She said, "You got a hater." And I said, "What does that mean?" She went, "It means you're famous." And I went, "Oh, that's cool. All right. Thank you, darling."
Yeah, I mean, the kid's not wrong. I don't know if it's really a hater.
No, but she perceived it as that.
Yeah, for sure. That message was a mixed bag. What do you think of it, Ed? I feel like it was definitely yeah, what do you think of it?
Nah, I would say that, it's somebody that's like in their mid-20s and thinks they know everything and
Dude,
haven't learned anything.
are you profiling him right now? Are we on like CSI?
Absolutely. I
Dude,
am I am
Casino
I am
Tears,
profiling.
CSI Casino Tears.
CSI Casino Tears edition.
Oh my
He's he,
God.
he's
Let's
he's
do it,
28
dude.
years old. He's
Uh,
28 years old. He lives down in Florida,
okay, yeah, we do know
and
it's Florida.
I'm guessing it's inland Florida because he doesn't get any sun at the beach. Doesn't get any beach time unless he drives to it. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm still getting Dr. No out of my mind, but yeah, he just wanted to razz on us a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what? More power to him, man.
Look, you know what it means to me?
What?
He watched my videos, and I do want to remind him that it is the 22nd century, and I can't believe that he hasn't ever listened to a podcast before, right? He said, this is my first podcast I've ever listened to. So
No, maybe it was just ours.
we appreciate breaking his cherry.
Maybe it was just our first podcast. Maybe he was listening to
No,
other
no, no,
ones.
no. That wasn't his word. He said, this is the first podcast I've ever listened to. And you know what? We popped his cherry.
No, that's true.
So I'm cool with that.
Hey, listen.
We invite all people to call us. We may or may not get a chance to play them all because, I mean, we don't want a show full of freaking phone calls all the time, but some of them are funny.
That's what the Patreon's going to be for sure.
Yeah, because we didn't have any for a long time. Now people are starting to use it.
And we got even, 2 today. So my first impressions, I was happy that anyone calls in, good or bad.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to make sure that everyone knows that listens to it is that me personally, I think it goes for you. Like anything that we say on here, you're welcome
It's
to.
not my way it's not my way or the highway.
You're welcome to call it out. Definitely call it out because I will have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's a lot of things that I did like about his message.
Fill me in.
There's some things that I didn't like. Okay.
Fill me in.
Well, first of all, I don't know if this was passive aggressive or not, but it follows a logic to me, follows if he is a math guy and he believes in the math, and more power to you, is that you should get my name right. I am not 2 ton. I am 10 ton.
That was the first mistake.
Details matter for me. It goes without saying that if you are
unless you're drinking
a math guy, that you should have your details correct. But I noticed that he did comment because I don't really peruse a lot of YouTube comment section, but I know he left some comments there as well and on your channel. And honestly, this is my impression of it. He did rate the podcast as an 8. And so thank you. There's a lot of things I agree with him. I love that he said he respectfully disagrees.
Yeah.
I do like that because I respectfully disagree a lot
with
a lot of people. And that's the best way to say it sometimes because we're all allowed to disagree. Now, I do think it was a little passive aggressive. There's something else going on. Like there's either a history, because obviously he's bringing in Gargo as he's not on the show or anything like that. So there's got to be some sort of history with you guys. I'm assuming there is some sort of history.
I have no idea. Gargoyle's not part of the podcast, so
there's a lot of things that he said that I do agree with. There's aspects of it, and that he'd be someone that I would definitely go shoot craps with him and play with him. In fact, I feel like, at the end, he'd like show us how to play craps on a cruise. I probably won't ever be on a cruise. It's just not my thing, but I will go shoot craps with him anytime at a casino with any listener.
Well, I'm probably not going to play with him on a cruise either.
Well, just because we're not like cruise guys. And I think anyone that's used to that environment or that game is going to have an advantage over people that haven't played it. But Ed, I think maybe he just needs a hug too. And we need to talk it out a little bit. Like he needs to talk it out.
You're such a peacemaker.
Seriously, sometimes people are misunderstood, man. And maybe he's got something because I
feel misunderstood.
No, listen, dude, I think that there's some good points that he said, but he's also taking it to like, I don't want to get into the semantics of it because I can pick it apart, but The thing about hedging that I want to clarify. Now, he brought out that I hedged the ATS and I hedged the 9. Do you remember it? I had $100 on the bonus.
All right, let's clarify that.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's put that in the textbook.
It also got me thinking about that hedge that I made. So,
all right. Yeah, you had to the 9 was the last number.
Yep. I had already won $750 on the small.
And you had what on the tall and the all?
Another quarter on the tall, which would pay $750, and then another $50 on all. That total would bring in $8,250.
Okay.
So that's what I was looking at.
So
on the
you
high
weren't, in my opinion, you weren't hedging. You were locking in a win.
I agree with you. That's semantics. I was hedging.
Right. That's not really a hedge.
That's true.
That's as he said, a pro player or a pro move, whatever it was he said. That is a pro move.
Yeah.
At that level, it's stupid not to lock in a major win.
I agree with you. In retrospect,
at 555, I ain't gonna fool with it.
Yeah. Again, yes. See, there's
all right. See, at 555, if it was a great bet before the dice ever rolled, it's even a better bet when I only need the 9.
Right.
Right. That's the way I look at it.
Right. Like
at quarter, 50, you need to lock in the win, because if the 7 shows, you win nothing. So go ahead and lay against the 9. And
I laid 2,400 to win 1,600. In retrospect, I think that I should have laid 3,200.
Yeah, you should have laid
to
more.
win 24. Let's say the 9 hit and I laid 3,200. I would have then cleared 5K. I would have then been guaranteed 5K, 5,750, because I had already won 750.
That is a smart play.
But I hedged it for less, and I was going for a 6,600 hit.
Yeah.
So again, looking at it back way, I think if I get in that position again, I think I might hedge it for like a 5 or 9. I might hedge that for 3,200. Now, Ed, I bring this up. On a normal random roller, sometimes I just have 10, 10, 10. In that situation, like, I'm never going to, whatever, quote, hedge or lay against one of those smaller sides. Like, if I'm going to win $300, I'm not going to hedge I'm not going to lay the 4 for 200. You know what I mean? I'm not like, technically though, mathematically, you should do it. Because then you know what I mean? You're guaranteed a win of $100 either way, right?
You're guaranteed a win, but like I go back to what I said before, in my opinion, if it was a good bet before the dice started rolling, it's a better bet when there's only one number left, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about box numbers, not 11 or 12 or ace deuce.
Correct.
Because you can't lay those.
Right.
So a couple of trains of thought I've always had is either I should lay it to cover what I've got on the table, maybe, or at least cover it for the side that has a hit. But at 555 or 10-5, 10, those kind of things, I'm just going to let it roll. Personally, I'm just going to let it roll out because I've already won one side. That's just my thoughts.
Again, and that I think it's like, how granular and how like to the T do you want to get things? And I think someone like a Dr. No might be counting everything and like every bet has to have that edge. I understand that. But also, Ed, before you talk, this is the distinction that I think I want to make about what he said about hedging and whether or not we were smart to or not, or I was just on that play. I'm talking about why I don't like hedging, because I don't like the systems that hedge all the time.
You're working your dealers to death to make nothing.
Hedging the entire time. That's what I mean. Just to clarify it, I can't stand hedging like that, but I will hedge a come out roll. We should talk about that because I asked Bo about that. I was so curious when I went to see him this week on his thoughts on what I do on a come out. But anyway, Dr. No's thoughts on hedging.
K-N-O-W.
K-N-O-W, dude.
Not N-O. I mean, because I totally went back to James Bond. I mean, I immediately was focusing on Ursula Andress coming out of the ocean. And Spectre. Spectre. S-P-E-C-T-R-E. That was the evil empire that Dr. No worked for.
Yeah.
They were going to shoot down the Gemini rockets.
Dude, I'm a Gemini, man.
Yeah, they were going to shoot down the Gemini rockets. I mean, that was pre-Apollo.
Yeah.
So we're talking about early 60s.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
all
they were
Lawrence
gonna-
Welk time, dude.
A one and a
Yeah,
two.
remember you talk. Okay, so dude, also, Dr. No, I do think that sometimes people just need to talk, and if they talk, they'd probably be friends. We probably might be friends with Dr. No if we just sat down and had a theoretical beer with the guy. I believe that, dude.
A
But it seemed-
theoretical beer?
Yeah, well, I'm not drinking right now, so I'd have to have like a sparkling
you only
water.
you have to drink a theoretical beer.
I'm on day like 305 or something like that.
But you
Listen,
only
man.
got 60 more to go.
Yeah, I know. And then I could go crazy, but I think I'm going to keep it going.
Can
But
I be
listen,
there when you go crazy?
No, I'm not going to do it, dude. Make sure I keep all markers away from me. All signing
I'll
ability.
keep,
All right.
I'll keep the ink pens away.
Yeah. I feel like there was definitely a little animosity that you have to take it that way. So something happened between you, Gargoyle, and him. Maybe you guys just need to get in a room.
I don't even know who the hell
talk
he is.
it out. Maybe you should talk it out. All right, Ed, hug it out.
Nah, I don't want to talk it out. It's not in me.
But when he says like you're
my
not a dice
granddaughter
influencer,
says I got a hater, so I'm good with it.
you're not a dice influencer. Gargoyle's not a dice influencer.
Yeah, I'm no good.
And he was
I am
talking
no
about
good.
precision.
Gargoyle's better than I am right now. I admit that.
Ed, he was talking about precision shooters, and I have a question for Dr. No when he listens to this. What is a precision? I want to see one. Who is one? Maybe dice influence and precision shooting to me how are they not the same thing? How are they not the same?
I think he's taking it to a different. I think he's taking it to a different thing.
Yeah, and that
Because
I'm curious.
I will tell you this, and it's always been my philosophy, though I can't really truly back it up, even though I've seen some guys that were incredible. I think there are a lot of craps shooters, players out there that fly under the radar, so far under the radar that they don't even need a serape to wrap around their face.
They're out there.
There are a lot of folks out there. I have always felt this that are really, really good at the craft of tossing dice. And nobody will ever really know who they are. Or very few people will really ever know who,
like
who
a
they
secret, Ed, like a secret society of.
Well, I mean, maybe, but I mean, I've run into a few guys in Biloxi that I did not know, and I thought they were
What they look like, dude.
geeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this guy looked like geek. He, had big horn rim glasses.
Nice.
Yeah,
Pocket protector or no?
pocket protector. Don't speak my language, dude. Speak my language.
Pocket protector, dude. You'd have a thing in your pocket.
Yeah, with ink pens.
Yeah, like I have
Maybe.
a pocket right here. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to put a Casino Tears on that pocket T-shirt.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you H2O guy? He wants pocket T-shirts. The logo out here, and he said he won't buy a shirt unless it's a pocket T logo on the back thing there, so he could put his reading glasses in here. And I'm like, dude, you could put your cigarettes in there. You could put a lot of things in that pocket. You could put chips.
Yeah, I played with a guy. I had a guy. I remember this was right after COVID at the Beau Rivage, and I was at Stick Left 1, and I had the table by myself, and this guy came and bought in.
Yeah, do you remember what he bought in for?
$200.
Oh wow!
And it was a $25 table.
What the hell is that? He's got what is he gonna do?
That
with
was my
$200.
That was my thought.
Okay, all right, let's see it. How to make this?
I'm like, how in the hell is this guy? I mean, you can't even play on a $25
well,
table.
yeah, I mean, you can play 8 times on the pass line.
Yeah,
that's it.
He set the dice. I watched him closely. And on his regular, he set the dice one way on his come out because he was shooting for 7s.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you would have to with that.
Yeah, and he hit a couple of 3 7s, and then he set a point.
Okay, building
And
it
then I
up.
noticed, then he set a different set for his point.
Oh man, he's a shooter.
Yeah, he was.
He's a
I don't know if you
shooter.
want to. I don't know if you want to call him precision. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know what that term.
I don't know. I like that, Doctor. No, you got to clarify what a precision shooter is because I want to know. But I like it. I do like that term, right?
But I noticed that even though it took him 2 or 3 tosses to hit, or maybe a few more to hit his point, because he wasn't betting other numbers, right?
Yeah.
He was throwing a lot of hard tens with that set.
Nice. Do you remember the set? It's
No,
cool.
not off the top of my head. I think it was a 3V variant because I think he hit an inside
Okay.
number as a point. So then I shot, which was a decent little roll. Then he gets the dice back, and I watch him, and he's throwing for sevens.
Yep.
So I'm on the pass line, letting him hit sevens. Then he set a similar point number as the point, and he went to that same set. And as soon as he went to that same set, I went to the hard 10.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And he hit it. He hit it 2 or 3 times before he hit his point. The funny thing was, because I started spreading out and doing the normal stupid bets, I guess. But I spread out across the numbers a little bit. 6 and 8, hard 10, hard. Maybe I bet 10 and hard 10, whatever. It's been a while. When he and I colored up at the same time, and we were within $100 of each other. He freaking killed that table.
Man. Nice.
He
Did you guys
freaking killed that table.
did you give him the nod? Like were you wearing your cowboy hat or did you just give him that you lift your head up, you give him that nod and like you
Yeah,
guys were
I was probably wearing one of my hats.
like
And
you guys were
yeah,
old gunslingers. You just give
yeah.
him that nod and you
Mhm.
walk it, then do you turn around after the cage and he's gone. He's like
Yeah, he
off,
was
like
totally. I don't
vanished.
think he even went to the cage
No,
because
he
I
just
did.
like disappeared, dude. All of a
Yeah,
sudden you're at the cage and then he's gone. He's
yeah. I don't think he went to the cage.
yeah, that's
But
cool, man. That's a precision pocket protector.
yeah, I mean, so I don't know if that's the kind of guy he's talking about or not. But there are guys out there, and I consider that particular. That guy wasn't lucky. I mean, he wasn't that lucky,
No, he was just
right?
banging it out, man, like a
And he
pro.
was shooting from straight out. And so it's odd. You got to, not everybody can shoot from straight out and do it accurately and do it with a repetitive
You got a lot
nature.
of ground to cover, man.
And so, I give that particular guy, and if that's the kind of guy he's talking about, I agree. There's a lot of guys out there, right?
Well, they live in the shadows, man. The part of a
They
club we
do.
don't know about it.
And I have said many times, I am not the best. I know a lot of people that are better than me. I may be better than average most times, but I'm not the best. I don't claim to be. I can PSO and heartbeat.
Even precision shooters can
The
PSO.
one thing
dude.
that I do agree with that it ultimately boils down to bankroll management, how you manage your bankroll.
Mhm.
I don't like hedging. That's not in my blood. I'm enough into this century
Mhm.
to at least have a fucking podcast and it not be the first one
Hey,
I ever
hey,
fucking
Ed,
listened
you
to.
know what? You have a
I
Stanley.
got a Stanley mug, man.
I'm telling you, if
And I
anyone
know
could
who
see this,
I know
it's
I know who Laney Wilson
absolutely,
is.
it's absolutely hilarious because only young girls on TikTok and social media have those things.
Exactly.
Dude. That is hilarious.
They saved Stanley.
Oh my God. Ed, you know what? You're gonna bring this podcast. Yeah.
I've
Good
got
job.
a Stanley.
Good job, dude.
I've got a Stanley thermos.
Yeah, and here I am, just, But dude, so listen, I think maybe Dr. No took it a little too literal on our hatred for hedging. I do hate hedging, but I hedge in certain situations. But I'm not going to run my whole.
He didn't like us. He didn't like us bashing the math guys.
You know what? I get what he's saying,
And I do admit I use my little phone, but you know what? You're looking at me blank.
tell me.
You're looking at me blank.
I'm
like,
waiting
what?
for it. That's what I'm waiting for. What?
It's like my algebra teacher used to say in high school.
What?
Those calculators are going to ruin your mind because
Yeah.
we were all using slide rules back then.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know what a slide rule is. Is that
I know you don't.
That was after
But
the abacus, right?
yeah, a little slightly after the abacus. But the slide rule is what, I mean, all the engineers used to like put man on the moon and that kind of thing, unless you're a flat earther type person.
I mean, I would probably like skew more in when you start thinking about interesting thing, and I'll let you ponder this before because we don't want to go down into conspiracies. But do you know the computing power that they had at that point? Yeah,
It
well,
was less.
dude,
It was less than what I used to play Pong with,
dude,
on my damn telephone.
it would
on
equate
my TV.
yeah, it would equate into a Game Boy. That's what they used in
No, it
1960.
wasn't even that strong.
Dude,
Our
to get to the
phone,
moon.
the
Game Boy.
cell phone we got right now has got more computing power than NASA had
Yeah.
at the time in Houston.
So my question to you is this, Ed, why up in my like 31st floor tower here in Vegas, how come the calls always drop? And I'm just calling Alabama, dude. How can you imagine dialing up Nixon from the moon? Hello?
Hello, Mr. President.
Yeah, what live,
Yeah.
dude. But you know what? That's a story for another day. Okay, we
I
can't
remember
go.
watching that on TV.
You did really?
Hell
Man,
yeah! We watched that thing yeah.
that was a
had to.
good movie. That was a good production. Who produced that? Kubrick. I
You
think.
talking about the
moon
fake
landing?
one or the real one?
Man, Ed, what am I hearing from you? Well, I love it though. I love it.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, that's what happens when you drink out of one of those Stanley mugs, coolers things.
Well, I got this right here is not a Stanley.
No,
mug.
you should put bourbon in that.
There is
Okay.
bourbon in there.
Yeah. No, in the Stanley thing. Bring it down to Biloxi.
How do you know there's not?
Ah, that's true,
You
man.
think I'm
Good
drinking?
one.
You think I'm drinking water or Diet Coke or
Nice.
something?
No, you're not drinking
I
a
might be just
sports
sipping
drink.
bourbon through my.
You're
through
not
my
drinking
Stanley.
like yeah, exactly.
I'll drink bourbon anywhere. I'll drink bourbon on the high seas. I'll drink bourbon under the high seas. I'll drink bourbon on top of the mountains. I'll drink bourbon in the caves. And I'll drink that son of a bitch under the table any fucking day.
A full-length extended version of this podcast is available exclusively on our Patreon page. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and will tell all of your fellow craps-playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-07. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. And lastly, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/casinotears. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is #1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.